Hello, hello. Just going live here, allowing the systems and the platforms to kind of catch up for a quick second here. It looks like I got a couple platforms I'm connecting to. So we'll just allow, looks like Facebook is so far coming up live. Oh wait, not yet, but YouTube. So welcome. Come on in if you're seeing this across your page. Today, I will be talking about manifesting. So, you're going to want to come in. We're going to have amazing conversation and just channel messages about manifesting, how we can intentionally manifest more. So, you're going to want to come in, have your questions ready. Let me know what are things that you might be struggling on when you are manifesting. So definitely come on in and join the party. Hello, welcome in. Hi, we are talking about manifesting today and having just some channeled messages come in. What is manifesting? How can we intentionally manifest more? And what kind of messages want to come in around that? So if you have any questions, pop them in. I'm on a couple different platforms, so I'm able to answer any questions. If you feel like you're struggling with manifesting, if you're like, what is manifesting? How do we do it? I'd love to help answer and kind of go through my own experience of how things have kind of really, in some instances, really manifested in a instant quantum level type of fashion. And so just using that wealth of information, anything that I've accumulated to help guide or help people within that area. It's such a buzzword right now, but we are manifesting every second of the day. Our thoughts are commanding our reality. So it's definitely a topic that I love to talk about, and I may talk about it in ways that are a little bit different than what people have out there. So, right, it's going to be from my experience. So come on in and join the party. What questions do you guys, if any, have any questions on manifesting? Or if you want to type in the chat, where are you from? I always love to see, we get so many people from all over the world here kind of coming in. I had someone the other day coming from Scotland. So I was like, oh, that's fun. So feel free to type in the chat. Where are you from? Do you intentionally manifest? Do you know what manifesting is? And we can kind of start off from there and just kind of see kind of what questions you guys have to kind of direct the conversation, and then I can kind of just work on the energy with what wants to come out with manifesting. So come on in. Let's see if we just have, I'm going to pull this up here. Okay, so I don't have any messages yet in the chat, but I'll just kind of free flow with manifesting. What is manifesting? So in essence, manifesting is working within our own collective energy and co-creating this reality that is bridged around our true self, right? Or our true essence, and diving deeper into that. What is it sometimes that we want to manifest? So we'll talk about, well, why is it sometimes that I'm intentionally manifesting and it's not happening? So I always like to say, do you really, and I say this to me, do I really want this to manifest? Hey Dakota, how are you doing? Come on in. Feel free to subscribe to my channels as well. I have a giveaway as well, kind of going on here. So feel free to check out my site that has the giveaway. But welcome in. S- Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much for subscribing. So I always ask myself with manifesting, is this what I truly want? Okay, because we have decades of other people's stories that kind of hit into the subconscious. Or you're just working. You're just working and listening to manifesting. I love it. I love it. Welcome in. So, I go and I say, okay, are these the stories of what someone else may have kind of maybe planted over the years, unintentionally kind of projected their stuff onto me, right? I can speak for something very simple. Uh, I went and I did everything. I went to college, I got the career, and oh, awesome. I love that. So beautiful. Thank you for everything that you do for your community. Um, so I go and I look and I say, okay, I'm hearing what people are doing, and I'm hearing that I'm supposed to do X, Y, and Z. I'm supposed to go to college. I'm supposed to, go out and find that 9 to 5 job. If I want to make it, I need to work so hard. I need to work the 60 hours to make it to the top and get promoted and all these things. And that's a bit of how my story went. What I didn't realize is that that's not truly connected to who I am, who I truly am. And so part of that is unwiring from the subconscious mind what is society telling us that we're supposed to be doing in a certain space, and continuing to go deeper into what is it that we truly want. And in that moment, being as present as we can be. I do a lot. I'm a psychic medium. I work with Akashic Records. I dive into who I am and connect within the present moment. It's not always perfect, but when we are intentional and we go within, and you can even feel your heart space, and you can even say, okay, is this what I really want? You get into all of your senses, right? You get into the feelings. What are you smelling? What are you tasting? What are you seeing? What are you hearing? Get really present using mindfulness techniques, and coming in and asking your higher self, asking your true self, do you want X? And if you're not getting this feeling of excitement, if you're not getting a confident feeling of yes, that's when we start to ask the questions. Are we um are we are we really manifesting what we want? Looking at that, are we really then maybe perpetuating this cycle of, okay, I thought I wanted that, and so my intentions have been on it this time, and it's not coming to fruition, and what's going on here? And so a lot of people actually really they come from a space of, well, I'm doing all the work to bring in all of this and intentionally putting that energy out there, and I'm not seeing the results. So we go back to square one. Then we go back to, what is it that is in our way? We're in our way a lot of the times, right? So if I'm looking to manifest and say, all right, universe, I'm looking to bring in a certain amount of clients or whatever it may be, and where's the gap between my belief of it coming to fruition, and do I truly believe it? Do I truly believe it? Or is there something within me that is a mindset that is in the way? So for me, I brought my business to life. I created an LLC. I did all kind of the formal things, but my action showed like little actions to kind of get the business going, but they weren't really moving the needle. And I come from a business background, and I kind of, I can feel out what moves the needle. So I was really starting to work through this core wound at that time of this worthiness, of this stepping into this confidence. And why wasn't the confidence there? There was a lot connected to worthiness. And so I wasn't putting myself out there as much as I really could have been, to really kind of get things going, to feel and meet people that then bridge the gap to build what I'm doing today. So there's a lot of core wounds to look at and to like allow that to come to the surface and understand what is happening, and allowing that to be felt in the body and released so that gap can close between manifesting. Okay, so I'm just reading a comment here. Yes, I do know what Wednesday was. I'm originally from New York, so I definitely honored a lot of people for 9/11, and I'm not in New York anymore, but I know a lot of people that were affected and a lot that happened. So definitely grateful for everything that that firemen and EMTs contribute. So thank you so much. I don't know if you're still here, but I wanted to comment in the middle of all of that, because once I kind of get going, it might not stop. So loving the participation there. Thank you so much. Jumping in and kind of navigating back to manifesting. Okay, so what is my experience with it? When I am connected to my true self and my essence, and I'm in that alignment, things happen and can happen very quickly. And I mean, like instant. I mean, it can happen that day. So I have a couple of really bizarre experiences, and things that might take a little bit of time, and that comes down to where my beliefs were to bring in that vibration of what I'm looking to bring in, to match my vibration, to release everything that I'm holding on to that's in my way of matching to that vibration of what I'm looking to bring in. So some things might take a little bit longer, but it's like, hey, this belief system here has a little bit of dismantling that needs to kind of be recreated from true self and not outside beliefs. So a little bit of my experience is I was starting my business. I was on a retreat because I felt connected to travel. I love to travel. And I was on a retreat, and it was a spiritual retreat, and it was connected to the ocean, and there was so much excitement around it. And I went to California, and I ended up just following guidance as I was there. So I'm in true alignment and true excitement. And I was like, I'm going to go back to the beach after the retreat. So I went back to the beach, and I met a random beautiful woman who wanted me to take a picture of her and her husband. I had my oracle cards out, and we started a conversation, just a very simple conversation. I told her what I do and what I'm getting into. And the next day, she asked if I could plant and a cat sit for her for 2 weeks while she leaves. Now, of course, I went into my guidance and I said, how does this feel? And I was really excited about it. But I manifested a free trip to the ocean, to California. And that all came from being in alignment, which is why I really stepped into the space of, the more we know ourselves, the more things will unfold. And I was manifesting last year more travel, which I've manifested into this year as well. But that excitement of that travel is something that feels so home to me. And I know it innately that when I do travel, things are completely taken care of. Maybe I throw like a show. I might do like a fair and combine that into like vacation, and my whole vacation is taken care of from the show, or whatever it may be, it's paid for. So looking at where our vibration is and where this excitement is, and allowing ourselves to fully embody that and really be present with that as well in the moments when it's happening. So, and I'm going to pause there, see if you guys have any questions. If not, it's all good. There's so much more to manifesting that I'd love to share. I'm going to take a sip of water here really quick. But yeah, what do you guys intentionally manifest? Are you like, it sounds kind of okay, maybe I'll give it a shot? Or maybe you kind of don't believe in it, but I know there's some people here, so I definitely know that this is an interesting topic. So let me know. Feel free, if you want, you can feel free to send a heart too. So just kind of looking at the comments here before, make sure I didn't miss any from before. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm not seeing any questions, but I'll just keep going with manifesting, right? So now I have another example of, okay, well, something that kind of took a little bit longer for me. And it was because I fully didn't believe that it was possible. So I started manifesting some point last year. I wanted to step into my business full time. And I had my corporate job, right? So I would kind of say, okay, I'm putting it out there. I'm looking to step into this full time. And I was almost there on believing it, but it wasn't quite there. So it didn't happen right away, but I kept moving through confidence. I kept putting myself out there, moving through confidence, looking at any core wounds or trauma related to a lot of things with my business. So a lot of things with being seen, right? Not coming from the space of not judging, because in a way, when I was putting myself out there, I'm being seen, right? And how do I feel about that? And there were some things that happened to me through my childhood. There were some things throughout, bullying or things like that throughout when I was younger, and that being seen was coming up for me. So as that was happening at the same time, it so happened at work that I was having a little bit of trouble with the project I was on. I had someone that kind of started managing the one project that I was excited on. And so I really started looking at and saying, okay, where is this doubt coming from? And that really helped me. I was so appreciative to look at this doubt and say, manifesting, okay, this doubt is getting in the way of me manifesting and coming into my business full time. And even though I kept putting myself out there, I kept feeling this doubt in my corporate job, which was good because it was the mirror I needed to really see, to dive deep, to manifest this business to come to full life and to be full time. So I really started. Okay, it just kind of went out for a quick minute. So hopefully you guys can still hear me. So hopefully you can still hear me here. If you have any, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I don't know why it kind of pushes out every so often. So I do see a couple of people that are still in here. So So hopefully I didn't lose too many people, but if you come back in, I'm just really wrapping up about how I was really manifesting this bringing to life, me bringing my business to full life, all of this doubt that I had surrounding me, that mirror of, hey, um, it's okay to step out. It's okay to feel and allow any of these core wounds around this confidence, any shame that I felt in kind of doing this, any societal pressure on, hey, what is this? What is this lady doing? What is this business that she's doing? This kind of going off kilter here, kind of doing something that's a little bit different than what some people usually do. I mean, I went and I got a college degree, and I went and went into the business and corporate world. And then now I'm coming out and stepping into a spiritual business. And I have a lot of people that were really kind of like, what is this? Who is this person? And so I had to step into this mirror of what I kind of felt coming up, where whether I was feeling judgment from others and seeing that I was just judging myself. So stepping in to this reality outside of this doubt was something new, something really putting myself out there and stepping into believing in myself that I could do this, that I could bring this to market. And that is when you start to look at manifesting, you're looking at where's the gap here on me bringing these things to fruition. So it's really quite beautiful, and I am very grateful for all of the mirrors that have helped show me along that way. That have helped show me that I'm stepping into this space of being my true authentic self. Even if there's one person that comes, it's not about me, right? It's not about anything other than being in alignment and this excitement. Am I really enjoy when I'm doing what I'm doing? Um am I really in that excitement? Is my body feel like it's really excited? So those are like the key things that I really start to look at when I start to look at manifesting. Come on in. We're just talking about manifesting here and kind of giving my experience, allowing any messages to come through. So allow, if you have any questions on manifesting, drop them in the chat. If you're like, hey, what's in the way? What is manifesting? How do we manifest more quicker? So I ended up hearing this story about, well, let's look at manifesting money instantly through lottery. Okay. So we're looking at manifesting, and we're like, you're looking at money and you're looking at all of that. The first thing is, yes, you can go out and manifest and win, off of the scratchers and the lottery. You can do that. That's absolutely 150% possible. Now, just stop to think about, how excited are you to play the lottery? Right? So if we're talking about stepping into excitement and helping that to amplify our manifesting, because when you're looking at your vibration and where your vibration is at, and you're trying to meet and match the vibration of what you're calling in, right? That excitement and joy and that feeling of it is what will help your vibration raise to call that in. So if I go and I'll play the lottery, am I really excited? right? No. No, I'm more of like, I'm doing this thing so that I can call in and manifest money. I don't know if anyone's really excited to play the lottery. That doesn't mean that we can't reprogram and kind of step into that space of excitement for it. But right, the big piece of me when I've kind of ever won, doing lottery or scratchers is I work on my relationship with my money. And this is a big one. This is huge. This is a lot of what people look to manifest, right? You look to manifest money. Okay. And look to, you're looking at your life and all the things that you want to do. And you're like, well, I got to pay the bills and I have to do this, that, right? All this. So when we start to look at energy and we are looking at raising our vibration to call something in, we need to start to look at what is it with money and our relationship with it that could be in the way. So for me, I went back all the way to my first memory of money, which for me was around job loss, like around having a parent losing their job, and a lot of kind of fear around that, and a lot of other things that happened because of that. And so I had to go back in and dive through and bring that to my forefront mind and allow myself to step into this space of releasing the old stories that are not mine, right? So that's a big piece in looking at, we're just looking at money, right? And so when I do spend money now, I look at reprogramming my relationship to, and I start to say, okay, thank you, money. I love you, and I know you love me, right? And you're not saying all the time, but if I'm ever kind of feeling myself kind of drop and kind of feeling that like scarcity mindset maybe coming through, I start to kind of shift the energy and bring in some gratitude. But then I also get into the feeling of it. So where is my money going? And who is at the receiving end of it? And what is all happening behind the scenes because of this energy exchange? And that's all that money is. It's an energy. It's an energy exchange. And it's a huge topic within, when people are charging for their business. And people start to say, oh, like I'm going to charge a lower amount, right? Because maybe if kind of look at the spiritual business. If someone has a spiritual business and they're like, oh, I feel bad taking money when like this is what I'm here to do. I'm here to serve. And that's true. But think about all the things that then that energy exchange can go back into the community. And that power is within the people who are doing service for others. So if someone is paying, spiritual healers and practitioners, that money, that exchange is coming back around to them for them to spend it how they want to spend it. Right. So if that means that maybe they're donating to a cause, if they are going on a retreat or traveling, and all the people that are receiving that energy exchange because of it, right? So that power within that energy exchange is in the beholder. So I always look at, I relate to it because that's what I am. I'm a spiritual practitioner, and I relate to in the beginning. I was learning. That's great, but then at a certain point in time, I kind of felt bad charging more money, right? And this can be any field. We're looking at, our relationship with money and how are we manifesting it more, right? And how do we call that in more? And so my first instinct, I was feeling bad at charging more. I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I should be at that amount. I'm serving, right? But the truth of it is I had a bit connected to worthiness, there. I had a bit connected to some core wounds and confidence with the value that I'm bringing out. And not even now going a couple steps further. And now I'm looking at the power that we are doing with this energy exchange. If someone's paying for services and they're paying for my services valued at what, I feel that it's worth. And I'm now in this space of power where I can exchange that energy and that money for other services that I'm putting out there. So always look at your value with money and what you're charging, and then look at your relationship too to it. That's huge. And just as people are kind of coming in and out, I'm talking about manifesting here today, and a bit about right now, I'm talking about our relationship to money and this, if we want to call it, some toxic spaces where we can sometimes have a negative connotation associated with money. There's a lot that's connected to, I'm a spiritual practitioner and I work within the energy centers within the body, and there's a lot connected to our root chakra, which is an energy center that's connected to, we could be storing traumas related to safety, security, and what things could be related to that. So for me, I had looked at early childhood, what was like my first memories of money, and looking at and really transmuting and changing that perspective within me, because that's the past. Yes, that subconscious energy was framing my future because I was coming from a space of lack. I was looking at my early childhood memories from a space of loss because that's what I remembered, and holding that within my body. So to be able to start to look at the root of where these mindsets are coming from allow us to step into our own power and then to manifest that money into our lives in a very beautiful way too. I always say, and feel free to pop in if you have any questions or you're like in agreement or you're still kind of like stuck here with manifesting. And like I said, I'm talking about money right now. But it's a space of stepping in and allowing that subconscious energy to now become bring that to the forefront so we can see it, so we can give it a voice, so we can release it and not act from that space, because we're giving that power, we're giving that old situation power unintentionally, because it's all coming from that subconscious mind. So now we step into our power, and now we are manifesting money in beautiful ways. So say you're an entrepreneur and you're in control of how much that you're bringing in. And if you are feeling stuck, if you are like, hey, I am not, I'm not seeing clients, I'm not bringing in money on, work kind of you plan, start to go back to the root of it. Start to go back to the root of this mindset of money. If depending on your business as well, if you're working with like a lot of clients, it could be looking at the root of being seen, right? And looking at that vibration within so that you can co-create and manifest those clients into your existence. And it's very true. Once you start working on it, things just kind of can happen very quickly. I had something happen a couple months back where I started working on some core wounds and some things around my sexual energy and stepping out of shame and guilt or whatever it may be. And as soon as I started working on some things, I had 4 new clients like within that week. And working on those core wounds and those root beliefs and allowing our body to process in a way, sometimes that it may not even be a conscious awareness. Our body's feeling it though. Our body is remembering trauma. So we release it. We allow that energy to kind of flow through within. And we allow ourselves to then step into a new reality that we are co-creating. We're co-creating this from new belief systems, and those belief systems have foundations, are strong, and they're following a system where we're now believing in ourselves. So maybe in the past, I wasn't going to a networking event, or I wasn't stepping out into like some of the events, and now I'm going and I'm meeting people that are like, oh, I've always wanted to work with an Akashic Records reader. And you get that energy exchange, that business card that you get out. You tell them about what you do, how you do it, and you just get that ball going, right? And that's all it takes. That all it takes is to start to look at where things are coming from, the root of what is happening, and allow that to be released, be seen, and move into your new reality that we are co-creating. Every second of the day, we are co-creating based on what we were thinking yesterday. I've decided to do things today based on a lot of things that I thought yesterday, or I decided to not do things, right? If I'm in that space of this unconscious, subconscious energy that needs to be released, I'm deciding to not do things, to not put myself out there because of that. And now, today, this reality was based off of those thoughts. Now, a lot of people look at, when we're looking at manifesting, right? And we're looking at, all right, well, now I don't want to be afraid of what I think and allow that to get in the way of me manifesting. So it's really important, though, to still acknowledge those root beliefs, those root traumas. That is so important, because as soon as we move through that, we, like, the way that I always see it is we create space. We create space for something to come in, and we allow ourselves to then step into that new reality. So definitely, definitely give some of these tactics a try, and allow yourself to step into the magic of manifesting intentionally. And I don't know if anyone has any questions, or they're just like, that resonates, or you're still kind of like, I'm not sure of what's in my way, or like how I can work more on manifesting. I've just kind of been spitballing. I've been allowing the messages to flow through. But if you are new here as well, hit that subscribe button. I'm growing the different channels that I'm on. I'm on a couple different channels right now, so I would appreciate that energy exchange. I'm also, feel free to check out my website. I'll pop it up here. I have a giveaway going on, that I'm giving away Akashic readings and attunements, and just kind of launching this online presence that just kind of, right, putting myself out there, manifesting and creating my business in a different way. And so, one of the big things that people always talk about is manifesting. So I felt really guided today to sit down and allow that to come through, and allow, like, manifesting to just be more effortless, right? Be more effortless, because we hear sometimes that that to get something to happen, it should be hard work, and this is the way that it needs to be. And not that there isn't work in there, but if you kind of bring it back to neutrality, if you're really in alignment and you're really in joy, and you bring in inspired actions effortlessly, and you just kind of act on them, right? That doesn't have to be hard, but it's following through, right, on those inspired actions, and what's in the way, what energy might be in the way of that. So we always want to think of manifesting in so many different layers. The other thing Again, feel free to put something in the chat again today talking about manifesting, and let me know what questions you have. I love any interactive piece to it before. Um, if you're just like, I'm stuck, let me know. Uh, you know, Otherwise gonna kind of continue, but I'm just monitoring the chat here. So another big thing with manifesting is we sometimes put a frame of all of the details of what we're calling in and how it's going to come in. And that can be a little narrow and a little closed-minded. And I'll give you an example. When I manifested a 2-week trip to California, and I kept saying, all of my resources are taken care of. So I manifested with a lady that I met on the beach that she just, we really hit it off, and she asked me to plant and cat sit for her. So it totally worked out. She was on the same wavelength and such a beautiful person, and I manifested that trip. But not everything was taken care of yet, right? But I stayed in that element of this joy, this excitement. And I was like, all my resources are going to be taken care of. Everything's going to be taken care of. Well, I had one of her neighbors come and bring chicken eggs one of the days. I was there like the second or third day in, and she came in. She was like, "Oh, is she coming back soon?" I was like, "Oh, I'll be here for a bit." And she's like, "Well, you can have the eggs," and that was like my breakfast every day. There's so many eggs that she brought over, so I had my breakfast taken care of every day, right? So when we limit and we put the details of how the universe is going to bring this manifestation in, we can limit it, because maybe I only perceive or see my reality a certain way, and I only maybe have seen it through this lens, and I've never heard of a neighbor coming and just bringing in chicken eggs to their neighbor. Like, maybe I haven't thought of that concept, right? Because I mean, to be honest, I live in a city, and the neighborhood I'm in is not a lot of the neighbors are really close like that. And I definitely didn't grow up with any chickens, so I don't know anything about that. So I let the universe take care of it. And I just kept feeling this innate knowing, and just kept this feeling of all of my resources are being taken care of, right? So when we start to frame up and manifest what we're looking to call in, we can look at some core things, right? Like, so if you're manifesting, for some reason this is coming through, right? And maybe this is some of the people that are watching, if you're manifesting a partner, or bringing in a partner into your life, right? There are going to be things that you're like, right, you want them maybe to be a conscious partner who cares about their health and their well-being, and that they're open to expressing, right? There just could be things that you kind of go through. Maybe, you do have other aspects that you're looking at as well. Now, how they come in, right? That's to the universe. But you're focused on some core aspects there, and I always say ask, right? It doesn't hurt to ask if you're like, hey, I'm looking for this, this, and this. But look at the framing of how you call it in. That's just as important. We can sometimes counteract what we are looking to bring in just by that wording there. And so I actually did a little bit of an exercise. So this is a tool for you if you're interested in manifesting, where I did a little bit of breath work, and it was only for a few minutes. So I did some breath work for a few minutes. I allowed, it wasn't even like a lot of heavy breathing, but or intense breath work in that way. But it was more getting into this flow of out of logic mind and into my body. So it's only a few short minutes. And then I allowed myself to step into this space of um, allowing my intuition to come forward and tell me from this unconscious, subconscious level what it is that I truly want. So it was an exercise where I kind of was like, I am the one who, right? And I just kind of allow whatever my body wants to say and allow that true expression to come out in that unique way, but it's all connected to like out of logic mind, like getting into that feeling. And I talked a little bit about this in the beginning, but if you're kind of new here, right? Um, Looking at this feeling of what you're truly calling in, and does this truly feel connected to who you are? Right? Does this express your true essence? And another exercise that I'll usually do is I'll put my hand on my heart. I'll get into this presence. Okay. So we can do this here too. If you want to kind of just close your eyes and just put those hands on those heart. And just start to feel that heartbeat. Just start to tap into what you're hearing, which could be my voice. Allow yourself to see what you're feeling. Get really present with that heart. And just ask yourself a question. Be something that you think that you wanted, and say, do I want whatever it is? Just allow that to flow out. Do I want whatever it is? Just see what that answer is. See what the first instinct is. And allow that message to just come through. And just come back to your body here. And just allow yourself to really be present with what came through. You can do it. You can do that for many different situations. And you can see what the answer is initially, and if you kind of are like, yes, you can also feel into your body and feel what those emotions feel like, connected to the question, right? That's just as important. So getting into that body and really getting into the core of who you are. The more that you follow that, I want to make a disclaimer. It's not a bad disclaimer. It's like the more that we follow those instincts, the more we listen to it, the more we get out of our way and get into our body, the more it happens. And the more that you are then starting to co-create and manifest in the moment, right? Because if you are connected to yourself in the moment and you are like, okay, this is coming up. So if anyone's craving it, if you're like, okay, do I want this ice cream? Right? If there's something there, dive in. Go get that, right? Do I truly want, right? Maybe you even just have a little bit, whatever it is. But that's just an example of like you co-creating in that moment. And you're now following this alignment and you're listening to your body and you're going out and you're doing. So you're co-creating in that moment. And don't be surprised if you get other downloads and other feelings of inspired actions that feel like they're out of nowhere. It may feel like, well, I never used to kind of get these random feelings to want to do this. Well, that's your intuition because you've been listening to it. It's coming in and it's like, hey, like you're paying attention to me. Now we're going to go and manifest and co-create our reality more and more and more. And you're going to feel more and more aligned. And you're going to feel more connected to who you truly are. And you're going to step into that and it's going to feel pretty awesome. So, hopefully that is making sense. Hopefully that is feeling that resonates. And feel free to jump in the chat too if you're like, if you have any questions on manifesting, because I love this topic. This is just it's endless. It's limitless. I do feel a connection to whether it's someone who just left or anyone that's still here, this connection to expression here. So I'm going to take a little sip of water. I was actually feeling it when so if you were here before when we were doing the exercise, I was feeling this space in my throat that just kind of started to kind of I'm asking, I was saying, hey, do I really want this? And I started to feel this connection to the collective in the room that is just like, hey, there's something about expressing this passion, like taking the next steps. And so not to get into like reading for anyone, but if that resonates with you where you're like, how do I express this passion or whatever it is out into the world? Allow yourself to start to transmute your energy in your own body. Start to heal yourself by allowing yourself to express it. And if there's any like trapped emotions in there from when you're younger or just all the time that may have gone that we haven't expressed our passion or truth, which is, for me, it was most of my life, I wasn't really feeling in alignment and there was a lot of numbness. So, it's not uncommon, but it's really looking at what's going on in that throat space to kind of keep that energy there. And some of the things that I do to help transmute is you can kind of shout and get that if there's any like anger or like shame or grief kind of related to maybe expressing yourself. And it may look a little bit different for everyone, but allowing that energy to get out. So whether you go out into the middle of nature or you have a pillow in your house or if no one's home and you can shout, definitely do that. Definitely jump in to that. I'm going to share my website because there's just so many people popping in and out and I'm on different channels. And so check out my website, check out my giveaway that I have going on. All you have to do is go to this website here, myawakeningwithin.com. If all else fails and you kind of forget where it's at, where the giveaway is at, there should be a pop-up once you go on to my website that'll have like something in the bottom corner that says giveaway. So giving away free readings and free attunements. Just jump in and don't be shy. And if you're like, hey, you've never like worked with me before, this is a chance to kind of work with me in a capacity where it is free, but I do ask people as you're kind of entering in the giveaway, that there's a couple asks that I do, but you can gain more entries. So you can follow me on different platforms. You can check out some of the programs that I have going on, so that you can kind of step into that and just kind of allow whatever is for your highest good, whatever feels good. And then you're just kind of along for the ride. So it's a good giveaway. I'm going to help move some of this energy because I am feeling that within the throat space and just kind of my solar plexus. So, I do energy healing as well. And so I'm going to get um, I'm attuned to different energies. I also have my sound bowl here. I have one sound bowl here. So let me just see as I get here we go. Thank you for those that have stuck around. I wasn't sure if I would do any healing today, but I feel it. So we'll just kind of close your eyes. Just allow yourself to just release and just be present. Just focus on the throat space. yourself to focus on your heart space now. Just allow yourself to release. Visualize pink energy surrounding you. Allow that pink energy to start to build outside of your body. Just filling up that aura of vibrational love. Start to feel that crown chakra at the top of your head start to open up to that unconditional love. Just start to let that energy flow down into your body, filling your cup up and your heart space with this unconditional love. Just let that flow effortlessly. And just start to slowly come back to your body, bringing some small awareness to the room, just very slowly. And just start to move your toes and your fingers. Just bring some energy back in, bringing your awareness fully back to the room. And whenever you're ready, open up your eyes. And I hope that that helped move through some of the energy. I felt there was a lot of energy Feel free to give some hearts, guys. Subscribe or follow my pages. That's on there. So appreciate it as an energy exchange if you liked what you were receiving. And this way, when I go live again, you can also get some notifications on that too. Um, I felt a lot of energy in that throat space just kind of float away, right? There's a lot of connection to the heart space that I brought up, and maybe even if you didn't hear because of the sound bowl, but I was feeling that heart space and that energy just start to flow effortlessly up to that throat. And that felt really good. It was, and whoever's here watching this or whoever watches it after, this connection to passion and heart centered um, areas, whatever that is, whether it's your job or what you do for fun, expressing that through that throat chakra felt a little bit like there's some stuck energy there. And so you allowed yourself to move through that by working and sitting in this space here today. And there's a big influx of pink energy that I just kind of saw that wrapping around the collective. And that color is a vibration of unconditional love. And I always see it around that. It always comes in, wants to come in and just kind of melt through us, bringing that vibration slowly in. So the sound bowl I have is, it helps with the crown chakra, but it activates everything. Really is not like a specific, but because of the frequency and the tone, it helps with that crown chakra. So I was helping to with the different modalities that I work with. I do aqualor and crystalline light healing and light language that I do channel. And I was really letting that energy flow through my own body and holding that vibration. And you guys stepped into yes. You guys were healing your body. It's you're allowing your vibration to match and meet. So as long as like yes, like you are the one who's matching and meeting and you are releasing, then that power is within your control, right? And that's a space that I usually kind of that's mainly how I teach from, is how do we hold that innate power and not give that power away. And even though I can be helping and supporting and facilitating, ultimately when you guys leave or walk out, or even if you finish a session of healing or whatever it is, you have the free will to go back to old ways of being, right? So that power is within you to step into that new alignment, those new belief systems, those new foundations, and co-create based on that, right? Wrapping it up into manifesting, because that was really the main topic on today, and looking at how we can co-create, right? All starts from within, and that manifestation will come to fruition when our vibration truly meets and matches. There's this attraction, there's this law of attraction, and there's so many other pieces in between all of that as well, but that's a main chunk of it. And allowing a surrender of what needs to fall out to get there to fall out. The other thing that I don't know if a lot of people talk about with manifesting is that when you are close, a lot of what may feel like bizarre things may happen. Okay, so for me, what it looked like was like my corporate job started I was like really unhappy there. And if I was happy there, I wouldn't have fully pursued stepping into my spiritual business full time. I can guarantee it. I can 100% guarantee it. So there were so many things that kind of at the end that just started getting harder and harder and harder. And there were meetings and there were just things that were happening where I was just not happy with things anymore. And things started to fall apart. But I will say it felt like things were falling apart, but what was happening was the reality that I had built everything up on. I was dismantling all of these belief systems tied to that reality. And so things may have felt and were perceived as like this is not good, but all these things left so that I could create space. And that space allowed everything that to happen as I actually kind of visually kind of put it out there and kind of put that out there with intent. So when things are dismantling and may feel like they're falling apart, it's because we're on the precipice of something new and really stepping into that vibration and really releasing whatever needs to go that is not serving that vibration, or not serving your highest good, and it's actually holding you back. So yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this chat today. I will be back next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday from 2 p.m. About an hour, where I always kind of get the flow of the energy to see what's what. And I'll be doing different things next week. So I do step into my Akashic field. I will channel in messages for the collective. I will probably be doing an aquamarine crystalline light healing next week. I did channel and bring that energy in here. So that's sometimes always part of it, and I'm just doing that. That's in the background. So definitely subscribe to my channels, follow my pages. If you haven't already, I'll just pop it up real quick here. Check out my site. Just all you have to remember is myawakeningwithin.com. Check it out. There's the giveaway there. You don't want to miss out on some of the cool free stuff. Check out anything else that's on my website, and feel free to like inbox me or shoot me a message on like if you have a question, if something came up that you didn't want to type into the chat here, then that's what that's there for. Feel free to subscribe to my newsletter, as I have new fun workshops and things coming out. Like I said, I'm an Akashic Records reader. I channel. I'm a psychic medium. So I offer Akashic sessions, which are readings and healings. I do energy healing, spiritual and conscious living coaching. I do business coaching and work with business transformations, where I work with the energy and I infuse a little bit of business coaching in there. But a lot of messages are channeled through within your Akashic records, and allowing anything that's kind of in the way, right? Which we talked about what's in the way of us manifesting. If you are looking to call in more business and more money, what's in the way there? And allow that business transformation to happen. So I do business transformations. That's a package I do, as well as attunement. I have group attunements coming up. One next week. They're angelic unity consciousness attunements, releasing and stepping into this essence and allowing this expression into our lifetime. And I'm doing aquamarine light being attunements on the 27th, which are group. I do offer those personal one-to-one, but if you're looking to, if you resonate with my energy and you're like, I don't know why I'm called to stay here and watch her, there could be something there for you. So just check out my services, the attunements, and feel free to shoot me a message. So thank you so much. Definitely come back next week, and I look forward to working with you then. All right, take care, guys.